Greetings to everyone out there in YouTube land. I'm Ahmed Hassanin, and I just want to give a shout out to Coach Dan. Thank you for all the support you show the team and the players. Everyone hit the like, subscription button, and yell woo in the comments. Thank you, and go Lions.
What's going on, guys? It is Aiden Hutchinson.
What's up, man? It's your boy Amon-Ra St. Brown.
What's up to Lion Talk Live? So we love you too, buddy.
What's up, everybody? It's Calvin Johnson Jr. here, a.k.a. Megatron, a.k.a. First Ballot.
Greetings and salutations to everyone out there in YouTube land. This is Dan Skipper, offensive weapon for the Detroit Lions. Make sure you all help support Lions Talk Live, Coach Dan, by clicking on that like and subscribe button. Everybody, woo!
Well, greetings and salutations to everybody out there in YouTube land. I am your host once again, Dan Thornton. Hey, want to thank you all for joining us here today. Lions Talk Live Morning Show Edition. You know what? We got some pretty good information for the Detroit Lions going forward. And this won't just be for the final stretch run of the Detroit Lions 2025/26 season, but I think going forward in the foreseeable future. We're going to break that all down to the main topic of the day. But if you've noticed a trend with the Detroit Lions the last several games, you know what you've seen? You've seen a whole lot of good play out of the offensive line and where this might go forward from here. Now that we're getting even more reinforcements back, you've seen Jared Goff's time to pass skyrocket from 1.7 seconds per drop back to almost 2.5. That's right. It's getting crazy in Detroit with that offense. And you started seeing some evidence the last few games. Detroit Lions offense is starting to look like the Detroit Lions offense of years past. A lot of that has to do with the holes they're opening up in the running game and obviously the time they're giving to Goff. Goff, you guys know, prior to the last couple of games, been sacked a whole lot, hit a whole lot more, pressured on almost every drop back he had. Play action pass was non-existent because he had no time to pass. Teams were disrespecting any kind of threat or sniffing of the run game because they weren't worried about it. But now, in recent weeks, the Lions are moving the ball, putting up points. The running game seems to be getting right. You're seeing more and more deep shots down the field. We're going to break down the reasons why, not just for this season, but going forward, and why the Detroit Lions, man, they may have really been forward-thinking with some of their draft picks. All right, before we get into that, before we get into the 5 headlines now and everything in between, if you haven't yet subscribed to Lions Talk Live, pretty pleased with sugar on top, maybe even some Mountain Dew on top, consider doing so. We are down to, survey says, 59 subs away from hitting 15,800. So if you can help out with that, that would be great. Also, if you have a free second of time, it doesn't cost a dime. Hit the thumbs up button, the like button, hit all the buttons. We try to give every episode of the show between 200, 300, 400 more thumbs up or likes. Last, never least, if you're considering buying property anywhere in the continental United States of America, let alone the state of Michigan, go ahead and give me a call or shoot me a text, 269-998-2384. You can be looking to sell property, buy commercial property, new house, old house, rental property, whatever it is. If it's real estate related, give me a call, shoot me a text. We'll go from there. Use over 30 years in the industry to save you some time, hassle, money, protect you. All right, all that out of the way. Let's get on over and get the show going with 5 headlines now. All right, 5 headlines, 1, 2, 3. Here we go. Latest Pro Bowl voting sees uptick for Lions rise, others slip. Sideline report, story by Michael Coldwater. What we can say is the Lions are a heavy favorite for the Pro Bowl. You know, it's just how it is. The Lions have got a bunch of big names for you, and this graphic is going to probably be way too hard for anybody to read on a screen. But let's just walk through it while we got it. You guys know Kirby Joseph's on the list. He's done a lot of good stuff this year. And if you want to screenshot this and maybe enlarge it at your own discretion or when you have time, go ahead and do so. You see the Lions, though, are a prominent favorite across the board. I'll try to at least give you the highlights. Kirby Joseph hasn't even played in half the year. He's number 3 in free safety votes for you. There is nobody for the Detroit Lions at the center position. Probably not a big surprise there, nor at the outside linebacker position. In regards to the strong safety, Brian Branch is number 3 across the league. Also, for the cornerback spot, like I said, nobody out there. When it comes to the guard position, there is nobody out there. There's actually 2 Chicago Bears on the list for the guard position, offensive line guard position. Punter, for somebody who never gets work, Jack Fox is number 2 in Pro Bowl voting. Special teams players, nobody for the Detroit Lions. Defensive end, yay. If you thought the Lions didn't have any representation there, you would be wrong. Aiden Hutchinson is number 3 on the list, only behind Micah Parsons and Myles Garrett. Inside linebacker position, those again who don't like Captain Jack, I got bad news for you. Captain the Hammer, Jack Campbell, is number 1. That's right. He is the number 1 vote-getting inside linebacker across the National Football League. Quarterback position, Drake May of the New England Patriots leads the way, but do not despair, Lions faithful. You've got Jared Goff as the number 10 guy on the list. Tackle position, Penei Sewell is number 3. I was a little surprised by that, but it is Pro Bowl voting. Other people get to cast votes, so he's number 3 on the list this year. Defensive tackle, Lions do not have anybody there. That also is probably not a big surprise. Kicker, also not a big surprise. Detroit is not available there. The vast majority of his time here in Detroit, MCDC has not used the kickers until recently. Here's the one that caught me a little bit by surprise here, and that's a running back position. Gibbs, number 3. McCaffrey, number 1. Jonathan Taylor, number 2. Wasn't surprised by Taylor, but McCaffrey feels like they're living in the past with those votes. That's at least my humble opinion. Sam Laporta is number 10 for the tight end position. Fullback, Detroit really doesn't have one, so don't expect one there. Long snapper, also not a Detroit Lion to be found. Return specialist, no Detroit Lions there. And then wide receiver, that you probably were going to anticipate some of this, but Amon-Ra St. Brown is your number 5 guy on that list. All right, all that done. Let's move on over to the next one. Let me get this off the screen for you. Let me get back on the screen. Hey, there we go. All right, next one on the list. Recent play of Lions' top draft pick shows genius behind Brad Holmes' move. The heavy story by Max DeMar. Everybody's got different opinions about Brad Holmes' drafts. I think most people would say Brad Holmes has done a pretty good job. That also being said, he can be considered a forward-thinking GM. Lions, when they took Tyleek the Freak Williams, took some level of disdain from national media, maybe for a certain degree from Lions fan base. A lot of people said, all right, I don't hate the move. I don't love the move. We need edge rusher, pass rusher. And a lot of people probably analyzed what the Lions were going to be doing with this draft pick. If you came to the conclusion they would be replacing DJ Reader, I should say, you're probably ultimately right with that. But let's also give some credit for this guy. For Tyleek the Freak Williams, he's had one of the better seasons for a defensive tackle across the entire National Football League. You can have your own opinion on Pro Football Focus grades and all that stuff, but here's what we know. Since week 7, Williams has had a defensive grade of 74.5 from PFF. That makes him the 12th best defensive tackle in the National Football League. You could even take it a step further and say he's got a 72.7 since week 5. I get you're splitting hairs. Whatever you want to say, he's not a pass rusher. It's just not a part of his game. But what's he do? He clogs up the lanes. He shuts down the run. He does a lot of good things to schematically help others get open on the team and get after the quarterback. Lions seem to have hit themselves a bit of a home run here. We're going to be talking about more home runs potentially for the Lions during the main top of the day. We can all have opinions on what they could have done, should have done, but in the end of the day, did you get the pick right? Does that guy play? Does he impact the game? Early on, and I get it's not even a full first season for him, Tyleek Williams looks like a real diamond in the rough for the Detroit Lions organization. All right, NFL announces change to first round of 26 NFL draft. SB Nation story by Jimmy Morris. Not really a Detroit Lions direct news, but I want to get it over to you guys. You guys all know a couple years back, maybe like 10 years ago, first round, between every pick used to be 15 minutes. And then it became 10 minutes. Well, now it's going to get even faster. The NFL is dropping the distance from pick 1 to pick 2 to 8 minutes. So the NFL first round should fly by a little bit faster. There's been speculation why this has happened because it does impact teams' ability to make trades. We all get it. The NFL, media, whoever else you want to throw in there, they love trades because it's good for news, it's good for TV, it's good for just fan bases in general. The other part of it is, as the NFL's moved the draft to multi-days, the NFL wants more and more commercials. They want more and more viewers. If you have to wait longer and longer between draft picks, it's harder to keep people's attention, especially since we live in a day and age where phones distract us, especially with people of different generations. So I think a lot of this is potentially a tell. The NFL has noticed the longer the draft goes on, the less viewers stay around. And if we notice it, probably means advertisers are paying attention to it since it's their money on the line. That's why they're speeding up the NFL draft. All right, next on the 5 headlines now, Detroit Lions seeking more success after mini bye. Not a big surprise there. The Lions, you guys understand, in recent years have not done well coming out of the bye, whether it's a mini bye, regular bye, whatever it is, playoff bye. Lions have made some adjustments, apparently from MCDC, the coaching staff, to try to address a recent trend coming off of a longer time period or time off on the field. We don't have full details what MCDC has done. He's probably not going to divulge that. Maybe in the off season he will. But as of right now, the last couple times Lions have had a bye, including last year's playoff first round bye, it hasn't gone well for the franchise. MCDC's righting the ship. He's given some commands to the entire coaching staff and front office what to do. We'll find out if that pays dividends this week. You guys understand the Lions had basically a mini bye going into this game. And in my opinion, it's a big advantage since you do have to go across the country. You're going to face the Rams, perhaps the number 1 team in the NFC, let alone the NFL. Let's see if it helps the Detroit Lions out. All right, last of the 5 headlines now. Have your own opinion on this one, but reports are from the LA Times. Jared Goff is no longer has an emotional charge for playing the LA Rams. Here's what I'd say. Maybe to a certain degree, is he as fired up as the first time he faced this former team, Sean McVay, everybody else in between? Probably not. Is he as charged up as when he faced them in the playoffs and beat them? I think that's going to be a moment, him getting a victory in the playoffs over the Rams. Let's be fair to the guy, whether you like him or not, that was a big moment in his life. He's going to remember that forever. Is this game going to match that? My anticipation is no. But with that also being said, it's still going to resonate somewhat with him. Stafford, I think, is going to come into this game all guns blazing. He's probably not going to like the fact that his former team, beat him the last 2 times, including a playoff game. Both guys are going to have some sort of energy going through their veins. What do you think, Duke Crew? How fired up are these guys 5 years later going into this head-to-head matchup? I get whoever's broadcasting this game is going to be talking about a lot. I just personally think Jared Goff, when he says it's not a big deal anymore, that's just lip service. He's probably fired up, but maybe, again, not as much as he once was. All right, all that done out of the way, let's get on over to the main topic today and break down some analyzation points for us all. All right, I got a question for the Duke Crew. What do you do with the current Lions offensive line? Just a few weeks ago, maybe a month or whatever it was ago, we're all saying, man, this line's terrible, can't block anybody, couldn't stop, anybody from getting to Jared Goff. Goff was getting hit, slammed, whatever. Maybe not sacked every play, but you guys saw it with your own eyes. He was getting hit about every play. And that's just not sustainable for any offense or quarterback. Probably the coup de grace was over in Philadelphia. Let's face it, that was the Eagles' last win. The Lions' offensive line, that first half looked terrible. Now, I remember going on and talking to you guys, man, I thought they made some adjustments that second half, and they didn't look nearly as bad. Not great, but not bad. Now you've got word that Christian Mahogany's practice window began officially yesterday. He's back with the team on the field. If he comes back, whether it's this week, next week, whenever, you Lions have actually a good problem to have. What do you do with the offensive line? We all get it. Graham Glasgow is getting a little bit older. Hasn't been the greatest center in the NFL, hasn't been terrible. Ratledge has played pretty dang well at right guard, and I think he's only getting better on a week-to-week basis just as he gets more experience. Now you've got at least early on, it looks like Miles Frazier looks like an absolute win for the 5th-round pick for this team. And again, a guy that, man, if that knee would have been right, probably would have went in the 2nd or 3rd round. So the Lions appear early on, way too early to have a firm opinion on it, but at least appear that they've got good value with that selection. Christian Mahogany last year, you guys know the story. He started 3 games, played heavily in 3 games, had 3 elite grades from Pro Football Focus. Whether you like Pro Football Focus or not, I can think we all agree with our own eye test. He looked like a stud last year. This year, I actually liked him too. I do think he was asked to do a whole lot, like a lot of people on that offensive line early in the season that were new to them, and they struggled because of it. But now that you got Mahogany coming back, Ratledge doing well, and yes, Miles Frazier appears to be doing well, what do you do down the stretch of the Detroit Lions with this line? Do you potentially move one of them to center? Do you potentially move one of them to tackle? I don't think Taylor Decker's losing his job, and I don't think Penei Sewell is losing his job, but could it be that Graham Glasgow is on the outside looking in? Could it be that Ratledge gets moved to center, Frazier to center? I mean, he has played it somewhere in his career before. I don't think, but I guess I don't know, Chris Mahogany plays the center. But the Lions offensive line the rest of this year has some good sound depth, if nothing else. The time of Jared Goff getting slammed down to the turf as soon as he hikes the ball is probably behind us, unless a rash of injuries happen. What we also know is Yodi, a serviceable backup, did not look good this year in meaningful minutes. If they can do nothing more than add more stability to that line, what do you think about this final 4 games, the potential playoffs, and then going forward? You look at Penei Sewell, he's pretty young. He's held up pretty well. He's pretty dang physical. There would be a lot of people say he's one of the top 10 players in the National Football League, regardless of him being an offensive lineman. The Lions' offensive line appears to be riding the ship. And yes, I can already hear some people in the comment section saying, man, if only we got Frank the Tank Ragnow back, this line would be as good as it had been the last 3 years. That may be, but it's not going to be this year. Going forward, I think the Lions have already emotionally moved on from Ragnow. Maybe there's something that happens in the offseason where they bring him back. I just don't think it's going to happen. What are your thoughts on that offensive line, those draft picks? This draft, I know some of you guys, I saw it in the comment section when I was logging on. It looks like better and better week to week. We all get it. We already talked about in the 5 headlines now. Tyleek the Freak Williams is looking like a big win for this organization. Ratledge, a big win for this organization. Tesla, there were a whole lot of people that hated that pick just 4 weeks ago. Now that Laporte is out and Tesla is more or less becoming your pseudo tight end who can also go deep routes out in the field, I think we're revisiting that pick and saying, man, maybe Brad Holmes got it right. We all understand, especially going into this Rams game, he wanted Puka Nacua a couple years ago, really kicked himself in the butt for not drafting him when he had the opportunity, and some of those later on picks did not want to have history repeat itself, so made the move for him. Frazier looks like a win. I mean, you guys get it. The vast majority of the draft picks this year that we've seen on the field, they've all hit. This isn't the 2024 draft picks where they were all aimed to be developmental players that would take a season or 2 to get right. These guys are coming in off the bat and doing some real good stuff. And for anybody who asks about, because I already know it's going to come up from one person in the chat, Kirby Joseph looks like a career-ending injury. No, it's not, man. You see that video I put up yesterday? That knee is not compromised. Is he going to need some cleanup work done? Absolutely in the offseason, but he's in nowhere in the conversation of the career's over for Kirby Joseph. So please, respectfully, leave that at rest because I'm about over with that. So, all right, Duke Crew, let's see what you guys have to say. I actually think the Lions have done a whole lot of good stuff with this draft. In fact, let's pull up the entire Detroit Lions 2025 draft picks, and let's see what you guys have to say about all of them. My opinion, like I said, Tyleek Williams, looking pretty good. Tesla, pretty good. And you can go through just about all of them. Ratledge, I don't think Ratledge is going to enter Pro Bowl conversation this year, but I think we can all agree he has not disappointed. Ahmed Hassanin, we don't know what we have with him yet. Same with Dan Jackson, Dominic Lovett. But assuming that they do get some time to grow, develop, I mean, we all get it. Lovett's got wheels. He's got wheels like very few people in the NFL. If he ends up panning out, probably not this year, but going forward, think about the speed you could potentially put on the turf at Ford Field between Gibbs at receiver, Jameson Williams, Tesla, man, and then Lovett. I don't know how you guard all those guys. You're going to have to get to that quarterback pretty fast. If not, you're going to get roasted. Hassanin is one of the more intriguing picks out there because with the Lions, we all know they need some more athleticism at edge. If he pans out, you know what? You got a guy with size, a motor that can run. That could be a real diamond in the rough. Dan Jackson, we knew this when we drafted him. He only started 1 year in college. He was probably going to come in this year and play special teams at best, be a backup safety, kind of grow and develop. But those 3 picks round out the end of your draft. If even one of those guys make it, the fact that you got 5 guys that could impact your team during the latter parts of, Lions picked number 28 in the first round. You guys they were all end of the round draft picks. I think the Lions coaching staff, front office, scouting department, everybody needs to get a cool Mountain Dew from your local Circle K. All right, let's get over to you guys, see what you guys have to say. But I think the Lions offensive line, we were like, Debbie Downers about it. Probably need to say it's end up panning out pretty good here. All right, looks like we must have lost a lot of the comments in the comment section because looks like the first 10 minutes or so are all gone. Lauren, good morning, Coach Dan and the world-famous Dew Crew. And back at you. Maybe we got that many comments, I guess. Johnny, Michigan head coach just got fired. Yeah, he did yesterday. If I was a Michigan beat reporter or just a sports reporter in general, it would be a big topic, but it's not going to be for our show. It's just not really relevant to the Detroit Lions. Thoughts and prayers to all the families affected by it. Bo, Dave Bling, I'm sure they will try only to have Sonic bust loose big time. Yes, indeed. Henry Moore and ended up in jail, Johnny L. Hookadoo, excuse me, Bo Booth. Johnny, he got arrested as well. I did hear about that. Johnny L is saying, wow. Lauren, bro, lost his marbles. I don't really want to go into this topic, but here's what I'd say. In the world, and I was talking to the wife about it, in the world of professional coaching, and let's be fair, at the collegiate level, you are a professional coach. That is what you do for your livelihood. You got to be smart enough not to get in your own way. And it's, I was talking with the Sarge last night when we were out bowling. Think about, who was the one Michigan coach? Made it rain at the strip club, and the Lions picked him up after he got fired. I cannot remember his name, but he was going to be the next head coach of the University of Michigan, got fired because he went to a strip club. And, you guys all know about Mel Tucker. Now Sharon Moore's added to that list. Hey, man, you've won the lottery by getting one of these jobs. Your family is set up for life as long as you keep winning, doing your job as a head coach. Don't go ahead and ruin it by making bad decisions. Of course, it's easy for me to say that. We all know about the Coldplay concert and the CFO and whoever the other person was. Just can't stop beating themselves. Big Eddie, glad DC didn't do something. Happened like more. Him and Tucker, shake my head. Yeah, I get it indeed. Lauren, DC has his morals. He would never do that to Holly. Let's hope not. Bo, I just goes to show that us fans don't really know what's going on behind the why. Hey, everybody makes their own choices. It's part of life. And unfortunately, whether you're talking about pro athletes, coaches, people in the business world, some people make bad choices and they have to live with it. I don't know what will happen to Sharon Moore. I can only say it's probably going to be a long road at best for him to ever return to professional coaching, collegiate level, NFL level. He can come back from it, but he's got a bit of a long road ahead of him. Miles Barker, greetings, salutations all. One pride, 100% got to have pride. Just how much longer until Kirby gets back? Question mark. I see your video yesterday, Coach. I think he looks pretty dang close to being back. Now, the fact that they've elevated him onto the practice field, I don't have the video pulled up. Sorry, guys, I can't put it back on the show today. But anyways, the fact that he's got all that going on, I think he's probably fairly close. Otherwise, they would have shut him down for the year. Bo, curtain. Hey, you got to have a curtain. Let's see. Pat, what do you got? Who has a bigger game this week, the passing game or the running game? I think they will not be able to stop the run. To your point, Pat, as far as if I understand the question right, the Rams, I think they've got to stop the run first to try to make the Lions one-dimensional. You do that, you can probably tee off on Goff a little bit more. We all saw what the Panthers did to the Rams. They did expose some stuff. The Lions are going to try to replicate that like every team that faces the Rams. It's just whether or not you can be. I'm not so sure either defense is going to be greatly successful at stopping the opposing offense. Wait and see what shakes out, though. But somebody's defense is going to have to. Otherwise, this will be a, 50 to 47 game, maybe. Silver Server, good morning, Attila. Right away, there are so many. Mary, Hookadoo, Henry, Bo, Carrie, Drede, Cynthia, Stephanie, Southwest, Pierce. I mean, you get it. There's a long list here. Next time, stick with the greetings, salutations, all. And with that exclamation mark, I'm down with that. Conan, I wonder if Kirby comes back next year and not this one. I think if that was on the table, they would have already shut him down by now, especially with only a month left in the season. They must have the plan that he's coming back this year. String theory, the Chicago Fire was started by a Tungsingi type meteor? Could be indeed. I don't really know. Bo, this could be huge for both the run and pass. Yeah, as far as Mahogany coming back and more stability on the offensive line, just to use this scenario, think about if they want to continue running 6-man personnel, 6 offensive linemen, between Skipper and whoever you're going to use out of this group. I think, man, you've got some real nice situations there. Also, short yardage or goal line packages, stuff like that. Man, the Lions got some bodies out there that can move some people. Bo, Server, I know what you mean. Susan Scott, I think you're right. Bo, Johnny, how good are the Rams? Good are the Rams to stop the run? They've had some struggles as of late, Johnny. Jordan Reaper, good morning. Coach Dan and the Mighty Duke Crew. Exclamation point. Let's go, Lions. Woo! Back at you. Queen Mary, good morning, Duke Crew. Happy Thursday. I'm so excited. It's almost game time. Let's go, Lions. A big win incoming. You get this win here, man, I would say that playoff spot's looking very good. But Tansingi could have been a comment. It could have been indeed. Pat, that's their weakness. It might be. Riley, what's good, Trim Reaper? We'll find out. Henry Moore, good morning. Mary and Susan. Lauren, I'm going to miss the first 15 minutes or so. 9F the show. Got to drop a dog off at the vet and lose his manhood. Ooh, sorry to hear that for the dog. Definitely. Ooh, give me weird vibes there. Silver Server, and don't want to forget our connection directly with the mysterious civilization of Egypt and Mr. Hassanin. All right. 5 favorites ready. So who goes where on the line? That's what we'll find out, my friend. Trim Reaper, what up, Doe? How you doing? Lauren, what up, Doe Trim? Johnny L, good morning, Mary and Susan. Dell, good morning, everyone. I think Detroit is a bad matchup for the Rams. I'm going with a homer pick, Lions by a touchdown. I like the way you're thinking. And yeah, the Lions get the run game going, control the clock, play action pass. They could cause some problems for the Rams, definitely. String theory, gotta have coffee in the morning. I hear you there. Dave, a lot of season left. Great chance for us to finish the season solid. Yes, indeed, my friend. Bo, take the overs. Exclamation point. I'll take the leftovers. How about that Trim Reaper hangovers? All right, we'll go with that. Johnny L, I just poured my first cup string. Queen Mary, good morning, my Lions Talk Live brothers and sisters. How y'all feeling this morning? I'm feeling pretty good. Bo, Trim, I'm still hungover from my 65th birthday party. All right, enjoy the birthday, my friend. Dennis, good morning, Dan and Duke Crew. Great week to be a Lions fan. Exclamation point. I'm down with that. Lauren, I don't drink anymore. Okay. Thomas, what do you got? Happy birthday, Dan and Duke Crew. Mr. B from Alaska. Exclamation point. Have a good birthday, my friend. Happy holidays. I'm sorry about that. I get to catch your show live up early. Exclamation point. How often will the D blitz on the Rams game? Question mark. You are awesome journalist, Coach Dan. Hey, thanks for that. And sorry that I said happy birthday instead of happy holidays. Got messed up there, Thomas. But I think the Lions are going to have blitz quite a bit. I think they have to get after Stafford. They also try to, put the secondary in more favorable situations. Rams are going to have some good plans. They got 2 big body wide receivers who are going to be able to beat press coverage, get off the line, and get quick slants, things of that sort. Lions, though, you got to pick your poison. You can let Stafford pick you apart by giving him 3 seconds to pass, or you can get after him and say, hey, we got to try to, make some plays here and there, get a tip, some sort of pass breakup here and there. All right, Queen Mary, Trim, you are starting the celebration early. Could be. Lauren, on special occasions. Okay, Johnny L, every day is a special occasion. Could be a lot of truth there. Bo, every day is a holiday. I concur. Stephanie, good morning, boys. Exclamation point. The who that secondary will need to hold their own Sunday. I agree with that. Phil, good morning. Good morning, Phil. How you doing? Out fishing today? Silver Server. Bo, happy birthday, Bo. Exclamation point. Half horse, half man. Might be accurate. Every meal's a feast. You gotta love that then, right? Johnny, yes, indeed. Stephanie, Lauren, happy birthday, Bo. String theory, professional football teams fight really hard each game to put up 20-plus points. Lions, on their hand, are expected to put up 30-plus points every game. Let that sink in. Hey, we've been very blessed in Detroit the last, half decade. Trim Reaper, happy birthday, Bo. Let's see, bro. How about that, bro, for Bo? Steve, good morning. Bo, I'm closer to my 66th, actually, Duke Crew. It's in March. Hey, nothing wrong with that. Happy pre-birthday. Silver Server. And you're forgetting Trim, Miles Margaret, and 100 more. Cynthia, good morning, everyone. Silver Server. There is Lauren. Bo, spell check. I'll go with that. Dre Day, good morning, Silver Server. We got another former Super Bowl secondary in our team. It's looking bright. Hey, if they get these guys up to speed, they can form for, a couple of games. I think the secondary will hold up. Johnny L, good morning, Cynthia. Trim Reaper, hail to the Lions Talk Live, Queens. I like the way you're thinking. Robert, sup, crew? Question mark. Beautiful winter weather we're having? Yes, indeed. Silver Server. Bo, you mean it wasn't your birthday? Question mark. Henry Moore, happy birthday, Bo. Let's see, bro, the Legion of Whom is vast. Yes, indeed. Henry Moore, good morning, Cynthia. Lauren, think we got ahead of ourselves on Boss' birthday. Okay, on Bo's birthday. How about that? Cynthia, good morning, Johnny L. Trim. Bo, humor attempt, long hangover since last March. Hey, enjoy it, my friend, or hopefully you're over it about that. Johnny L., I feel that 5 headlines is about to be real. Let's hope so. Jen, good morning. Oh, exclamation point. Johnny, talk to me, Goose. Hey, well, Goose is out there somewhere. Robert, a lot of pieces moving around. You're not wrong. Henry Moore, good morning. Jen, exclamation point. GSS. Greetings, salutations, Duke Crew and Coach Dan. 4 days till another Lions victory. Go get Big Cats. Let's go get them. How about that, Johnny L.? Here we go. Time for the show. It is the show time. Any more? Medal to the detention fellas. Let's go. Exclamation point. Bo, our offensive line is like a Rush album. Moving pictures. Ooh. Cynthia, good morning, Henry. Exclamation point. Trim Reaper, choose the wrong day to stop sniffing glue. I do know that movie. Robert, we didn't talk about how our end zone celebrations are the best in the league, and it shows. Hey, they put in some work practicing it. Johnny L, good one. Bo, Queen Mary, I show it's about Kirby is going to play Sunday. I hope he does play Sunday. Jim, new players brought on and then released. I need a program. There's a whole lot of new faces on the team, aren't there? The 302 kid. Good morning, Coach and Duke Crew. Exclamation point. I am glad that we got Whiteside back. Me too, man. Feeling good about the Rams game. Go Lions. I think it's going to be a good game. Johnny L., I'm going to listen and talk to you all tomorrow. We'll see you then. Bo, we got a lot of practice. Robert Welch. Sylvie, can I get a do? Question mark? Do? All right, you can get a do. Sure. Go over to a local store, wherever you'd like, my friend. I'd recommend the Circle K. Same old soup, tardy but present. Had to finish maxing out my Pro Bowl votes. Hey, nothing wrong with that. Trim River, Gibbs MVP. Exclamation point. The human cheat code. He really is. Trim River, chose the wrong day to stop drinking. Do? Woo! Never stopped with the do, right? Robert, let's see. God sound like MVP, but will he? Question mark. If he were a lone back, I think it would be a big conversation. Yeah, if Gibbs was, yeah, I get you there. Jameson, sup? How you doing? Silver Server, Lions have signed a bunch of veteran safeties. Who's getting released? I wonder, question mark. And also, I don't have a lot of faith in Kirby coming back. How effective will he be? Is it worth risking his health? Yeah, I don't think they'll bring him back if they feel like it's going to be detrimental to his long-term health or anything like that. So I wouldn't worry about it. He looked pretty good in the videos that I've seen. Michael, good morning, Coach Dan and Duke Crew. Woo! Back at you. Robert, mega graphic. Hey, it was a big graphic. Hit all the buttons, says Trip. Motor City. Has anyone reported that Tate Ratledge has cut off his mullet? Yes. I want to say a week or two ago. I saw it while watching a Sounds of the Game episode from Thursday's game. No more mullet. Back to the clean shaven. It was indeed Dre Day. Mullet's gone. Not sure if it's worth reporting. Yeah, there you go. I mean, I didn't think it was huge news. Marcus, breaking news. University of Michigan is expected to name Ohio State defense coordinator Matt Patricia as the new head coach. Wouldn't that be something? String theory. If a football player is healed up, then believe me when I say they want to play and they will play as good as they can. Yeah, 100%. It's their profession. They want to be out there. Remember, if they're out too long, teams start looking for replacements. That's not good for your income. Dre Day. Marcus, that's a sick joke. It is. Marcus, Bo, Silver Server. Johnny, I think Rams good at stopping the run, but haven't checked. What am I sure of? That the Rams are great at protecting quarterback. At least sacked, I believe. Could be, actually. Let's see. Trim Reaper, Wowzers. Robert, don't you dare, Marcus. Silver Server, Dre Day, really? Mullet gone? Question mark. I liked Mullet. No, Mullet's back. The mullet for Ratledge is gone, though. But Mullet is back. Silver Server, Marcus, are you serious? Don't be surprised. Marcus laughing. Bo Booth, Server, come on, man. Exclamation point. You have been around long enough to know that Marcus is one Duke Crew crack up after another. All right, I'll go with that. String theory. Here's another thing about football. You know which team will win. The game must be played. Kick back and enjoy some football. There you go. True, says Marcus. Justin, good morning, Duke Crew and Coach Dan. I believe the momentum is on our side, and we have a good chance of winning. And if we do win out the momentum into the playoffs, it would help tremendously. Yeah, I agree with you fully on that there, Justin. Eddie, if the NFL wants more viewers, fire the NFL commissioner. We'll see if they do. JK, Randy, get him F out of here before he PP himself. Okay, Robert, that's an understatement. Laughing out loud. Thomas, drop that hammer on the like, y'all. Hit the like and subscribe if you would, please. Robert, more time off seems to suck for us. Marcus, we need a good laugh after all the crying us Michigan fans went through yesterday. Yeah, heck of a news story with that. 89, man, I need the Lions news. The Michigan news broke my neck. Shake my head. Silver Server. Motor City Poly, that was bad move. Exclamation mark. Ratled's mullet was a great throwback nowadays with pro athletes dressing like you know what. Okay? Thomas, I have to say this. We are number one scoring. Our problem is not the offense. Our D was the issue here. Got to have some extra pressure off Stafford or big trouble. All right? Robert. Gibbs 150 all-purpose and 2 turnovers gives us the win. I like it. Bo. A, the Lions are sick of talking. B, they are hyped to beat the Rams again. Yes, indeed. Trim Reaver. Can I get a Sheila Woo? Let's see if I can find the screen for you. 1, 2, 3. All right, back at it. Thomas, we all figured our O-line would struggle early in the year. Got to step up now. 100%. Dre Day. Thomas, every morning, big trouble, say something positive, nothing but backhanded compliments to a good team. I'll go with that. Silver Serve for a string theory, copy that, just watch the game and see what happens. But then again, we couldn't be here chatting, not for our future responsibilities and far away ones. There you go, string theory. Hope Detroit Lions have fun playing this Sunday. I'm going to enjoy watching the Lions play this Sunday, 100%. And then what is it? The Chicago game, they're expecting minus 20-degree weather. That's going to be a bit of one for them and the Browns. Let's see, Thomas, straight day. You forget I always say we can beat anybody. Truth is a terrible thing. It is indeed. Trim Reaper, just win, baby. String theory, could you repeat that, Dan? My mind was wandering. It happens, man. Silent service, I think Decker retires. Maybe after the end of the year. I know he's kind of spoken about it already. Dynasty Lions, Glasgow would be a great assistant off the bench. Yeah, could be a great asset off the bench. Robert, Ralledge is a beast. Love that guy. I think you do. You got to, right? John, run the ball, control the clock, keep Matt and Puka on the bench. Yes, indeed, along with Adams. JK, visiting Rams trap house. Lord, help us. There you go. Thomas, Dre, when you're 8-5, needing every game, to me, that's big trouble. The baffling thing was to have a 10 on defense. They'd give up a tremendous amount of points. My guess is why. All right? Great day. Your opinion is not true, Thomas. The Lions will beat the Rams. The defense will be great. It'll be awesome. Keep it moving. Yes, indeed. Broski Bear. Good morning, Dan Ducro. I think Frazier is going to be better than Mahogany, and Frazier and Ratledge are your starting guards going forward. Lions will need to acquire a center via free agency or draft. Yeah, well said there, Broski. Xavier, good morning, Coach Dan, the Duke crew. Hope everyone has a blessed day. Exclamation point. We need to block better like we did last game. See that Kirby coming back. Let's get it done. Let's get it done indeed. Trim River, thanks, Davenport. Dr. Detroit, Thomas, you make so much sense. Same old soup. Actually still voting for the last 25 minutes. Man, that's a lot of votes, man. Dre Day. Because there are professionals on both sides, just because a team scores and makes over 400 yards don't mean the team will win. Just ask Cowboys. That's true. Henry, hey, exclamation point. What's shaking, broski? Nice. I hope we get the center early. If Frank returns, we can draft in for rotation. Gets ready to help Frank healthy. There you go. Thomas, I also said I would sign as long as they wanted. Our biggest issue on D, other than the points we're giving up for the 20s, is no consistent pass rush. I understand why Brad does not see that. Okay. Let's see, Broski, there's a real chance Decker hangs it up after the offseason. Lions should get in front of it and draft or sign a left tackle as well. I wonder if some of the guys we already have are part of that plan. Although if you can always upgrade it in the draft or free agency, I'm sure they'll look at it. Robert, if the defense can't step up this game, it's going to be tough. Rams off defense is very good. Indeed. Now, Detroit, yes, Thomas, that would be Lions fans support that. We'll find out. Frazier looks good, says Dynasty, and I could agree. Broski, 2025 draft class was a great one for Brad Holmes. I'll go with that. Yeah, I think they did a good job with it. Tremor, I think it's coming down to Detroit Lions versus Chicago Lions. Might be accurate. Dolo, it will be right tackle Frazier, right guard Mahogany, center Ratledge, left guard somebody, and then left tackle Panay Sewell. I think you're right with that. Let's see. String theory, Chicago Bears won't win another game this year. We'll have to wait and see. Thomas, that's a sign, Brad and Dan, as long as they want. But truth is, our D is a huge disappointment. If they were Chicago or Green Bay, D, 12-2, worst. Everybody has injuries this time of year. Yeah, everybody's beat up this time of year. Tilla, Frazier had snaps and center in college, but 0 at LSU and never as a starter, so I doubt they play him in center. Could be. Broski, Frazier is better than Mahogany. Let Mahogany be your top backup guard. Could be. Robert, between Hassan Muhammad and Hutch, our D line is solid next season's come. Could be, yeah. And then Davenport, at least this year, gives you another rotational piece. Brett Frazier is going to be a starter, first-round talent. Yeah, and if it wasn't for that knee injury, going into the draft, I think you're right. I think he would have been drafted. I don't know about first-rounder, but, second, third-rounder. Who knows? Maybe someone would take him in the first. Thomas, Dr. D, what are you referring to? We'll find out. Harrisville, O-line toggle. Let's see, James Gary Moeller. Thank you for that. Moeller. Thank you. Could not remember his name. I'll tell Broski, if you please drop the Kirby discussion. You sound like a whiny child. Okay, Brett. Haven't heard much about Hassan. I guess he's just developing in the practice squad. I've not heard anything in recent weeks. Let's see. Media, greetings, salutations, Duke crew, and good morning, Coach Dan. Ready for this showdown this weekend. I truly believe our Cali boys, Jared and St. Brown, will have a great game. I think you're right. Southwest, greetings, salutations, Duke crew. Woo! The heck with Michigan Wolverines coach. He stunk, was a terrible coach. Never one time did he put his arm around our 18-year-old quarterback to help coach him up. We'll see what they do over the University of Michigan. Dolo, Frazier also played tackle. There is also accurate. Robert, did the next man really step up on that secondary? We'll find out if they can. Southwest, he messed himself over back to the Lions, maybe. Robert, Kirby looking good on the practice field. I thought so too. Thomas, U of M just got giggles. I called Saban or Gruden. Just saying, I know Gruden said some locker rooms things out loud. People are over that hope. Yeah, and I don't think Saban's looking to come back. He's got a pretty nice setup where he's at. Who knows? Maybe he comes back. Brosi, until the Hun, I've been spot on with the severity of your Lions players' injuries for the so far. Hutch, Laporta, Wright, and now Kirby, but only time will tell. Yeah, I don't think Laporta's life-threatening or career-threatening. Same with Wright. Hutchinson's obviously wasn't career-threatening, and in my personal opinion, neither is Kirby's. Robert, it will be back if he can. Indeed, he will. Dola Dynamite, right tackle Frazier. Tyrion, right guard. Mahogany, center. Ratledge, left guard. Frazier. Let's see. Panay Sewell, left tackle. Okay, sorry about that. Media, Mahogany or Frazier will stabilize the offensive line. Probably accurate. Please, good Lord Jesus, keep the injury cart off the field this week. I'd like the way you're thinking there, Robert. Vernon, good morning, Coach and Duke crew. Exclamation point. Coach, any news on Laporta? Coach, is it time to start biting kneecaps? Hey, every game we bite kneecaps. As far as Laporta, there's no updates that I've heard at least. So he's healing up. Will he come back this year? I doubt it, but you never know, right? Attila, you've been spot on for something for sure. Okay, Silver. Attila Brosi is just giving opinions about the Lions situation because he loves Detroit so much. Could be some truth to that. That is until he takes the sheepskin off of him when he gets tired of playing civilized. All right, Robert. Hutch gets to Stanford this week. He's due. Let's see if he can get there. Thomas, in my opinion, best tandem in the league. We force feed the Rams a boatload of Knuckles and Sonic. See how they like that. 15 carries each. We'll see if they do that. Extreme Shaft. If Broski hurts your feelings with his opinions of the Lions, just block him on your own. Yeah, there you go. Jordan Reaver's laughing. Lionel, hey, good to see you, man. Feels like it's been a hot minute. Line is getting better. That being said, we need to put Glasgow into the old Carroll. Decker, not far behind. You guys, our guys, Mahogany, Ratledge, Frazier, Sewell, and Boss. We need a true center. In time, but probably not this season. JK, chug time too. I'll tell them Broski enjoys anytime a Lions player is injured, kind of sick. Guess he knows that is the only way Chicago stays ahead of Detroit. Maybe. Thomas, RD on obvious pass downs, but I bull rush the defensive tackles. Let the defensive ends do whatever they can to get to Stafford. MCDC talked about it, how they let the front line get after it a little bit more this past game, get after the quarterback. And he did point out why, because the Lions linebackers allow that. They fill in holes. Jack Campbell, I mean, he's a massive human being. He can do a lot of things on his own. So because of the play of the linebackers, it's allowing the defensive front to get after it more. And some teams are going to try to scheme around that. They're going to try to take advantage of it. We'll see what the Lions do to counterpunch. Till extreme takes more than a troll like Broski. Hurt my feelings. You know me. Robert, Tesla is going to get his this week. Probably accurate. Jordan Reaver, good morning, Cynthia. Dan, tell us what you know about the University of Michigan coach. I don't know much. I don't really pay attention to the University of Michigan. or so I know what happened. I guess he's in jail right now, and I guess he threatened somebody or something to that effect. I don't know, man. It's not something I follow closely. Dennis, good morning. Dan and Duke Group, back at you. Vernon, Coach, I got Jerry Ball to sign his autograph on his old 93 jersey. Hey, how about that, man? I love Jerry Ball. He was a funny dude to interview. Media, is it me or does it seem like they cut our celebrations from the live broadcast? Sometimes they get them in, sometimes they don't. Dan, I have hope and faith our Lions will finish strong. I like the way you're thinking. Can they teach Manu to play center? Probably not. I mean, it's possible, but I'm going to go with no on that, Lionel. Trim Reaper, do you know what happens to people that watch Lions Talk Live and don't like and subscribe? Do you know? You just made the list. Thank you for that, my friend. Johnny Gas Sports, good morning. Duke Crew, exclamation point, back at you guys, man. Thomas, most useless stat in football, pressures. It is truly a pressure if the quarterback throws the ball out of bounds after 4 seconds. To each their own on that, but I get what you're saying on that, Thomas. Trimmer, what up, Johnny Gas? Broski, until the Hun. Let's see. Here he goes. Nah, he's the whining one. Question mark. You can't take that. I've been correct, and that you've been the whining. And Kirby does come back. He's only 8% of what he was. I guess where do we get the 80% from? Is that a guess, or do we have an actual statistical fact that he'd be 80%? Trim Reaper. Hey, Trim. It says Johnny Gas with an exclamation point. Media. Kirby owns Stafford to Rodgers. Would be great to get him back before the next 2 games. See if they can. Bruce Bear. Dylan, you should try sticking to the facts instead of emotions. I won't mention the K word again. I don't know what the K is. Leo, what happened? Just got here. Now you know. Matt Broski, can I ask why you come on a Lions podcast when you're a Bears fan? That's a question I've never gotten answered to. Till the Hunt, you never said that, or you are where you're wrong. Just point out how pathetic you look. You are an older man, 60 plus years, so you shouldn't act like a kid. Just saying that facts you should. Okay, I'll go with that. David, you think if Ragnar comes back, Decker will stay, but I think if Frank doesn't come back, Decker will retire after the season. There'll be an interesting dilemma to your point, David, about the Lions. What do you do if Frank Ragnar says, yeah, I want to come back? Because, I mean, I'm assuming you would only take him back if you thought there was real value there. Decker, though, I think he's played better the last 2 months of the season. He's got more healthy, but he's also looking like he's like any offensive lineman. At a certain point, your body only takes so many injuries. He's fairly beat up. I don't know. I think they're probably going to move on from both of them, but I don't know. See what happens in the offseason. Eddie, as a U of M Michigan fan, what has it come to scum of Jackie Gleason? Wood and that nothing but old-fashioned communism. Laughing out loud. That's a lot to take in there, Eddie. Thomas, if the NFL wants more viewers, how about hiring refs as a regular job, not weekend warriors? How many times this year have we lost our minds on terrible, terrible calls? It's to a certain degree, I think the NFL likes those calls, though, because you get it, man. Why you want to call it clicks or likes, views? It drives people insane. They want to see information on it, so they read more, they view more, etc. Silver Server, Lion, what do you got? Manu is 6'8", way too tall to play center, and he's just learning the game. Indeed. Same old suit, still voting? Hey, enjoy those votes, man. Bo, Manu is great physique for a tackle. It's a matter of time. Does he get it? We'll find out, says Bo. Thomas, SS on Manu. I know that sounds crazy, but he has the athletic ability that Manu has. I put him at defensive tackle with that size, strength, and speed. I'm not saying he would be Chris Jones, but we'll see if they end up doing that with him. Trim Reaper, have a great day, Coach and Duke Crew. Woo! Exclamation point back at you. Let's see. Rather be fishing. Good morning, Coach and Duke Crew. Woo! What did I miss? Now you know, Grit City Media. Did I miss the 5? We did have 5 headlines now. Yes, Leo. Taking the points against the Cowboys got us the win. If we did this against the Minnesota and KC and Green Bay, we would have less losses. I agree with that. This game will tell us if Coach learned. Indeed. Jameson Saban hates U of M. Could be accurate. Babel, let's see. Lions really need Mo to play well on that opposite side of Hutch. You give Stafford time, he'll eat the secondary live. Yeah, he's at the point, and you guys get it, man. He's a good quarterback. He's going to eat almost any secondary live. Dr. Detroit, what? Question mark. There is an issue opposite of Hutch. First I heard of it. Hey, how about that, my friend? We'd like to get you some breaking news when we can, Dr. Detroit. Media, the Rams aren't that good at stopping the run. Sock and Knuckles should have big games. Let's hope they do. Jameson, if they can get after Stafford without having to beer can the pass rush, let's hope not. Moonscar Blade, Duke Crew. We went through 0-16. No one's opinion being typed on the keyboard takes that away from you. They should have hurt your feelings. 0-16, enough said. Okay, Thomas. Ain't Aunt Kirby. I love the kid, but I'm a little worried because even in the video I saw of him limping slightly still. Who knows, man? I thought he looked pretty good. Muskar Blade Broski is here because Bears podcast stink. He has said that himself. They need to get better podcasters for the Bears. Muskar, and I have seen him get into it with other Bears fans because he's gone into those myself and seen what they are saying. Okay. Broski Bear is here because Coach Dan is the man. Woo! I'll go with that, Trump. Thank you for that. Jameson Ragnow still $11.5 million for coming back next year. Hey, that's not a bad paycheck. Queen Mary, have a good day, Duke. Stay safe, everyone. Back at you, Queen Media. How much do you think Vegas plays a role in games? Man, I'm not even going there on this episode, but it's always possible, right? Refs have been terrible this season. They're terrible every season, though. Let's be real. Melissa Fisher, happy Friday Eve. Exclamation point. Have a wonderful weekend, everyone. Go Lions. Back at you, Melissa. Max, is it all that good news enough to overcome refs? I say no. You got to play through the refs, right? I see Trim Reaper. Have a good day, Queen Mary. There you go. Henry Moore. Have a glorious day, my friends, and I will chat tomorrow. See you then, Xavier. Hey, thanks for becoming a member, man. And just for that, let's properly reward you with a 1, 2, and a 3 on your respective screen. Thanks, man. Thanks big time for that. Anderson, we didn't have the 4th and a short at all. That's why MCDC never won 4th. Yeah, I think the best they did last game was 4th and 2. Mary, congratulations. Xavier, Miles Meyer, 8-5, one pride. You gotta love the pride. Lionel, if Saban goes to U of M, he will be the most vilified coach ever. Could be accurate. Bo, happy trails. Halfway to your birthday, my friend. Happy trails, Duke Crew. And back at you. All right, guys, if there is breaking news later today, I'll get it over to you as soon as possible. If you would be so kind before departing, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit all the buttons. Take care. Enjoy the rest of your day. See you guys all in the next Lions Talk Live. Have a good one, all. You're still here? What are you doing here? It's over. The show's over. Go home.